Hello and welcome to getting started with the Kepler workflows. There's several things that need to be installed and performed before you can actually run the workflows. So first you'll need to go to java.com and download and install Java if you haven't already. Next you'll need to go to keplerproject.org. Once you're there, you're looking for downloads and then downloading the installer for whichever platform you're running, whether it be Windows, Mac OS X, or Linux. So to use the calibration workflows, you'll also need the R statistical computing package. So this one's a little tricky in that you have to go over here, where my mouse is, to download R. And then you have to select a mirror to download from. Now I recommend ones in the United States because otherwise you could be waiting a while for something halfway around the world. And you'll also need to download the workflows themselves, and these can be found at Google Code. The Google Code site for under BioEarth Kepler workflows. And where you need to go once you're here is to source, browse, and then if you click zip under download zip, this will download everything including the scripts and all the workflows that you'll need. And once all that's installed, you're not done yet. So you'll need to run the Kepler module manager. This can be found in the same place where you run Kepler under all applications. So this is going into the future, but eventually we're going to be using the provenance feature within Kepler. And you're going to want to install the provenance 2.4 suite. 2.4 is for the version of Kepler, which is currently 2.4. And suite means that it'll install all the other modules that are required. You can just go down here and install the module provenance, but that's not guaranteed to work if there's dependencies. So hit the over arrow, and then you would hit apply and restart to install the selected module or suite, excuse me. So I started this ahead of time because it does take a while to populate all this information when it goes out and checks, so just be aware of that. So and there's also you also need to configure your environment correctly. So for R to actually be usable by Kepler, it has to be within the system path. And what I mean by that is if you open a command prompt in Windows or a terminal in Mac OS X, if you type in capital R for the program, it'll actually be able to find R and start it. So this is automatically done in Mac OS X, but under Windows you have to do this yourself, unless the installer does it now, which it might. And then this may also have to be done for Java. So if you hit Java, you should get, or if you type in Java, you should get command line arguments and not error command not found. So how you would, if this isn't working, how you actually do that is you have to go to System Properties. And then once you're in System Properties, Advanced System Settings, and then you have to go to the Advanced tab where there's Environmental Variables. And what you're looking for is under System Variables, there is a path variable. And you have to be careful with this because if you mess this up, you can damage your system. So be wary of that. But what you need to do is add a semicolon and then the path to wherever the binaries are. And here you can see that I've added C program files R, the version of R I've installed, and then the binary folder specifically for the 32-bit binaries. So if this isn't done for Java, you have to have Java as well. So and this will require a system restart, so be aware of that. So. And once all that stuff is done, then you can actually test if Kepler is working correctly. And how you would do that is you start Kepler, which will give you a window such as this. And then if you go down to R, these are basically demos. My favorite's the 3D plot. So if we double click to open this, we'll open up a very simple workflow. And then to start the workflow, you hit run or play over up here at the top. And I'll say executing down at the bottom until says execution finished, which just takes relatively little time. And then you can see the three-dimensional plot as well as all the code that went into actually making this, which is stored in the R expression. And if you'll know if this isn't working because number one, you won't get these windows, and it'll say executing, and it will never actually finish if it can't find R and all. Basically, your environment's not set up correctly to run everything. So, but if everything pops up and looks fine, then everything's working, and you can move on to actually running the